What's up, everyone? AJ on Day Trader Boomer Bust with my daily watch list and recap video. So here's the watch list here, which I post every morning around 9:15 on my Twitter account. Today I had on the primary watch list, I had DKNG and OCGN, which was trading on news. DKNG specifically had a short report put out on them, and then Wish on continuation, and then on the secondary I had Riot as a crypto play, and CRSR, FCell, and Ride as continuation plays from some recent volatility. All right, so let's take a look at the chart here. Now, today overall was a solid trading day, but I'm going to talk a little bit later about how, being inconsistent with, really any aspect of your trading can hurt your potential returns or profits. So this was my first trade today. I have the 1 minute chart here on DKNG, and you can see that there was this big sell-off here when the short report came out. Sorry. Sometimes this mouse does that. Okay. So yeah, there was a pretty massive sell-off. As you can see here in the pre-market, it continued to sell off right up till the open. And I was watching this for a potential bounce. I didn't know if it was going to have a full reversal or anything, but I did. I was watching it for a potential bounce from some of these lows. And let me just get this epic out. And you can see here that on the 1 minute chart, I got in a little bit early, and I got in long over here. When I say early, it's because I generally would want to wait for this 1 minute candle to form and then take a trade for a 1 minute ORB on the second candle if it broke above the first candle. I was watching the price action, and like I said, it was just a bit of a quick trigger finger. Fortunately, my stop loss was here at just above pre-market low, and just below the opening price, which is this dark line here. So I got in there, and it went my way, and I got all out at 2R. Now, this trade had my standard $25 risk on it. That was my R for this trade, and I'll explain why I'm saying that in a second. So that was my first trade of the day. So that was it was nice to be green right off the bat. And then on my next trade, I jumped over to OCGN. So let me just move this over here. Okay, so on OCGN, I felt that, so you can see the 1 minute candle here. It kind of chopped a bit at the open. There's a 2nd minute candle and then the 3rd minute candle. And then you can see that it really sold off here, at the 4 minute mark. And then it proceeded to consolidate in this area. I felt it was a little weak, and I thought that if you look at, let's change things up here. If you look at the 5 minute chart, so here's the 5 minute chart. You can see that this here is the it's a red candle on the 5 minute candle. And I was going to play a 5 minute ORB on this. So you can see that over here, when the price went below this VPOC line, and again was seemed to be on its way to break the bottom of the 5 minute candle body, I went short. Okay, unfortunately, it did come back on me and stopped me out here for a little bit less than a 1 hour stop, because I had my 1 hour stop just above the VWAP here, I think. And I had moved it, as I tend to be a little bit more aggressive with moving my break evens to, sorry, my stop loss to break even on ORBs, just because of the potential for a bit of whipsaw and volatility at the open. So when you can see this wick here, when the trade started to go my direction, I had moved my stop loss a little bit closer to break even. In any case, so that trade didn't work, and this one was also at my $25 risk. Now, again, the reason I've been saying that is because I have been meaning to up my risk. Full disclosure, I had done a bit of a deposit on my trading account because I felt a little bit more confident in my strategies and my trading, and I wanted to again just increase my risk, but I didn't want to have any issues getting into positions I wanted to get into, so I did fund my account a little bit more. I increased my risk probably a little bit more than I would recommend for most people, but again, it was something I was comfortable with, so I doubled my risk and increased it to, or was planning to increase it to $50 per trade, and I was going to do that today. The first trade, that winning DKNG trade, was one where I actually pressed the wrong hotkey, because I did do a separate hotkey for the new risk, and because I did that, my second trade I kept it at the same risk level, and then I decided, you know what, I figured, I'll bump it up. So with the third trade here, I did change my risk up again, and I went to the $50 risk. What did I do here now? Sorry, I gotta double check my journal just to make sure I got things right here. Okay, yeah. So this second trade was on OCGN again. I thought that it might. You can see that after it stopped me out here, it pushed up, and what happened was it kind of threw this upside down. Sorry, I think it kind of sold off here, and I played it to come back down below the opening price here. I want to take a quick look here at the 1 minute chart, because it might show a little bit more what I was seeing, because although I do keep my eye on the 5 minute chart, I was watching the 1 minute chart here. Oh yeah, so this is what it was. I saw this upside down hammer, the shooting star candle on high volume. And I thought, okay, it's really going to sell off. And when it, you can see this red candle, another upside down hammer. I was watching this opening price level, and when it seemed like it was going to break below that, I went short. So when you look at the 1 minute chart, the 5 minute didn't really illustrate it. When you look at the 1 minute chart, I'm not too disappointed with this trade. Hindsight, when I look back, it was probably a little bit premature. I probably should have given it a little bit more of a chance, because you can see that this candle where I went in was a bit of a doji candle, and unfortunately it came right back up to me and stopped me out, pushed up, and then proceeded to come back down. But I was patient, and I continued to watch the price action and watch OCGN, and but my next trade was actually DKNG. So let me jump over. And on DKNG, so after this push up, you can see that, it started to push up into this 100 SMA on the 1 minute chart. So when I saw some resistance there, I thought I would go short if it went below this level. Now, this purple line here, this purple level, is actually a daily level that I had marked from previously. And you can see that this candle wick there. So I wanted to play a break of that candle, and when it started to push down, I went short. I Now when I take these trades on stocks where there's an aggressive move in either direction, this one was moving up. It could have just as easily been an aggressive move down. Um, excuse me. This is a pullback play, not a reversal play. So I find that at 1R, that many times at 1R, if my risk is in the right place and I enter in the right place, it tends to be a higher probability of it turning around. So I took off 50% of this trade here at 1R, and as you can see, it didn't move. It didn't continue to move down. It seemed to, have some resistance at VWAP here, and it came back and stopped me out. But that was a green trade. So not disappointed in it. I expected that was a possibility, which is why I took that partial. And then let's go back to OCGN trade that I think you kind of saw earlier. So you can see that it pushed up, came back down, and when it started to push down again, I was watching it at this opening price level. Again, probably a little bit early on this trade, but I felt good with it. I was watching the level 2, and I went short over here. It did kind of, pull back a little bit, but it pushed down aggressively eventually, and I managed to get a full 2R, return on that trade over here. So pretty happy with that trade. What did I have next? Then next, I had a couple of remaining trades on DKNG. So let's go back. That was the trade I just shared with you. Okay, so you can see the DKNG. Now I can also tell you that there was some news on DKNG that opposite, or I guess against, the short report, and that some of the bigger banks were backing DKNG. But so you can see it consolidated in this area over here. You can see it consolidated here between this, in this range, as the market was deciding, how it felt about everything. Now, because it seemed to keep pushing against this 48, I'm going to say this 48.30, 48.40 range, I thought that it might actually, break below that, and I thought that there might be a bunch of, short, long cover, sorry, that it could hit here. So I went short over here, but you can see it immediately wicked on me, and this actually was pretty aggressive. It came back and stopped me out here for a full 1R loss. That was unfortunate, but again, not too disappointed with that trade. I think that once again, I probably just got in a little bit early, and you can see at this point, the market had fully decided that it wasn't going to be, DKNG wasn't going to be weak. It made another push, took another leg up. So I was watching it as it hit this daily level. You can see the 200 SMA here, and here was the S4 level. So it consolidated a little bit here, but it really wasn't very, very weak. And I find that first consolidation after a really aggressive push up is definitely not a time to look short. I was kind of looking here for a potential, just a very small pullback scalp. And here at the S4 level, I saw some weakness in the price action. You can see here that the volume was high on this. I really can't call this a hammer candle, but it definitely was a red candle here. Maybe you could look at it as a bit of a pivot. So I played this with a stop loss at the top of this candle. When it broke below this candle, I thought I'd take a quick scalp, so I got in short. Again, as I mentioned earlier, when I'm doing these pullbacks, I do kind of get a little bit aggressive with the partialing. So I partialed here at 1R, and then I set my an all out here at the 20 SMA, sorry, 20 EMA here, because I find that again on these pullbacks that the 20 on the long 20 EMA access support and tends to bounce back up. So it did do that. It obviously came a little bit below it, but then it pushed right back up. So that was a good all out. That was it ended up being a 2 hour trade, even with the partial, because my like the 2 hour from here was around here. So it even after those two partials, I think it was oh no, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my journal. It wasn't a 2 hour trade, unfortunately, but it was 1.5 hour. Anyways, so those were my trades for the day. If you look at the P&L, I finished the day off at with considering a $50 R. I was at about 2.6, 2.7 R for the day. Had I had that first winning trade, first two trades been at the $50 R, actually, this probably would be about a 3.5, 3.6 R day. So that's what I'm talking about. If you're going to trade, then make sure that you're being consistent with your strategy, with your risk, and so on and so forth, to be able to maximize and allow your strategies to work for you. Unfortunately, because I changed it up midway through, I wasn't able to get as much out of the day as I wanted to. But hey, you know what? It's fine. It's a green day. Let's take a quick glance here at my journal. And you can see here, these are the trades, total trades for the day. Here's that winning trade on DKNG at the beginning, 2R at $25 risk. This was that loss, a little bit less than 1R, $25 risk. And for the remaining trades, I had bumped that risk up. So this was a full 1R loss. This was that partial trade where I partialed, and that was the return. And then this was a full 2R win. That was that 1R loss. And then that final trade I was talking about that I thought was a 2R return. Here it is, 1.5R. So for a total of a green day still at 2.6R, 2.7R, something around there. So that was a day. So solid start to the week so far. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the recap and the information, and we will catch you tomorrow at the next when I share my tomorrow's watch list and trade recap. Take care. Cheers. Bye.